Professor Homa here, working our way through our first CSS file. And one last thing we're going to do with the CSS, we're almost done. We have pretty much everything done. We're just going to change the link colors. Link colors by default are blue, and then they have a purplish color when they're visited. What I'm going to do is just make them a brown color and have them both for visited and as a link so that they don't change color. I don't like when they change color all the time. And it's not a huge list that you're going to be going back and forth, because when it opens in a new window, you just close it up and you'll be back here. And I don't know if you really need a reminder that you already visited that one or not, although you could. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my CSS and I'll look for a place. Since this stuff is right around here, this is where these things are, I'm going to put it here. And they're the only links on the page, so I can just specify this with an A link and an A visited. So what I'm going to do here is hit return. I'm going to do A colon, and these are called pseudo elements if you see them in W3 schools. I'm going to do A link, and then do comma, and then do A visited. And then I'll put my curly brackets. And what I'm going to do is just specify a color. And that color will be, I just have to put color. I'm actually going to use the same brown color. So I could do, let's see if this will work. I'll put in 000, I'll right click on it, do quick edit, and I'm going to select the brown right from here and close it. So if you've used colors before, they'll show up here and you can just use them, which is nice. And I'll put a semicolon. And what that should do is any link on the page, now this is any link on the page, but this is the only link we have on the page, so we're okay. Whether it's a link or it's visited is going to show up in that brown color. So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to refresh it, and now they're showing up in a brown color. If I click on a link, it opens up another page. I'll close it. Notice they're not showing up at visited colors, which I don't want. I just like them showing up in one color. There may be a time to have visited color links change, but this isn't it. Okay, so that's my page. I'm pretty much done. And you want to make sure that your CSS is saved. That's it. You know, test it out, make sure everything works, check all your links. If something doesn't look right, you know, you have to go back and fix your code. But remember, you have your index file, you're going to have your Ex4 CSS file. You won't have these sample ones, they're mine that I did ahead of time. And then you're also going to have like a Dexter pick file that's going to be put into your images. Make sure you get it into your images before you upload anything. Okay, so I'm going to go and upload right now. I have all these bookmarks here. You should only have one, but I'm going to find my one for student sample. That's me. So I'm going to double click on this in CyberDuck, and I have to put in my password in CyberDuck. Don't forget your password. And when I do that, it shows that I'm connected, and then it shows my directory. Now remember, this is your main home page. This is your main image that has the header that's just a generic, that red page I put up for you, and this is a CSS that I put up for you. So leave these alone. You're only going to be putting up your Ex4 file. And I can even open this up, and so far I have an index and images, and we're going to replace everything. But so I'm going to go to brackets, and I'm going to close everything. Everything I think is saved, and it should ask me if I want to save it before I close it. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to close it, or I think I can close everything right here. I'll close my CSS. I have that sample, and I'll pretty much close everything. I think I have everything closed now from my EX. That's still showing everything in my Ex4 folder because that's my folder, but I have all my files closed. And I'm going to go to my Finder, and here's my stuff, and I'll get CyberDuck out here too. Remember, you want to get these windows kind of side by side. And some people had problems with this, but it shouldn't be too bad. Here's my upload sample. Here's my Ex4 folder. Now I have these extra files in here. I can just leave them in. They're not going to hurt anything. I could delete them later, or I can move them out. But you pretty much, you know, I'll just do this because yours will look like this. I'll just move these over here for the time being. I'll put these in. Yours will look like this. You should have a Ex4 CSS. Your index file should be updated. You know, it should say that the time on it that you look, you should just have finished it. And your images should have a new file in it. I have Dexter pick and pick Dexter. I think I'm just going to use the pick Dexter one. And, you know, whichever one you have in it. But I still need my header one in here. So this is all the stuff I'm going to upload. So all that I need over here is just, I'm just going to upload the whole folder. Don't mess around with index and all that stuff. You know what? The easiest thing to do, for whether you're on Windows or Mac, is just take this Ex4 folder, drag it over here, not inside here. You don't want to put it in there. You just want to drag it over here. Take Ex4 with all your stuff, and before you do it, make sure all your stuff's in there. Look in there. This should be the index you just did. This should be your images that has your whatever picture in there and your header. And this should be your CSS that you just did. This whole folder should have everything you need. And I'm just going to drag it over here, and it may ask me to log in again. And I'll just log in one more time. And I'll hit log in. And it should upload, and it should say overwrite, because it knows there is an Ex4 folder there already, and it's going to say, do you want to overwrite it? And I would hit yes. Continue. And then everything should be uploaded, and that should be it. You shouldn't have a problem doing this. Just ignore these 3 files and make sure you keep replacing your Ex4. And then when I want to go check it out, I could go up here. I'll get out of here. I'll just go to www.wccgraphicwebdesigns.students, and here's my students page, and go to student sample, and it's going to your generic home page. But when I go here, there it is. It's done. It's uploaded. It should be really easy to do. That didn't take long. Everything's uploaded. When I go to see it, I'll just go and check it out, and you're going to get it. And if it looks like this, you're going to do a great job, and you're going to have a lot of fun in the process.